Good morning, students. In this video we are going to conclude the story Old Man at the Bridge. Yesterday we did the explanation about the writer of the story, Ernest Hemingway, also the style of his writing and the way it has been written in the conversational way, and then the literary devices used over here, the metaphor, symbols, and along with that we have done the explanation of the text in the first part of the story, where we see that the soldier is there out on duty near the Ebro River at the bridge, Pontoon Bridge. And here, since from the morning we can see that he is seeing an old man sitting next to the bridge. He is not ready to cross the bridge because he is quite tired, but he's sitting over there in the dust and he seems to be very gloomy, thinking about something. Later onwards, almost all the carts and all the trucks and all the people, they have passed through the bridge. They have crossed the bridge. Yet this old man has still not moved a bit and he's still sitting over there resting. So at that time, this soldier who was supposed to cross the bridge and see the other side at the far end if the contact has been made or not. Contact means the event when you can see the enemy approaching. So he was on duty to see whether the enemy is visible or not, and if he is visible, that means they should start making all the preparations for the attack, or defense, or you can say for the battle. So at that time, this soldier, it is his duty to see that everybody crosses the bridge and moves to the other parts to safety. So here he comes back to this old man, and finally he gets into a conversation with the old man and asks him that where are you from, and he's very happy to tell him about his land, that is San Carlos. Afterwards, he even tells him that I was just taking care of animals. So the soldier did not pay much heed to it, but although we can say that through his perception, through the perception of the soldier, he believes that the man does not look like a shepherd or a herdsman. Rather, he is full of dust and his clothes are quite dirty enough. So he simply does not ask anything. Later onwards, the old man himself tells him that I look after various animals. And then he walks away, the soldier, and starts inspecting the area, whether the enemies are there or not at the horizon. So the enemies have not come as yet, and he has been on his duty, but still he is more worried about the people leaving the place. They should all be vacating the place. So at that time he comes back, and now he continues the conversation with the old man, and he asks him, what type of animals are they that you look after? So he tells them that there are 3 animals altogether, and then he tells that it is basically through his explanation we can make out that there are not 3 animals but 3 types of animals that he looks after, although there are much more number of animals that he looks after, but the breed or the types are 3 species. First is there are 2 goats, then the second is there is 1 cat, and along with that there are 4 pigeons. I told you earlier also, it is symbolically that the pigeons are related to peace, and the peace runs away or flies away whenever there is war. And here also in the story it is given that the cage is open, and so the pigeons might fly to safety. Cat is related to independence, which is not dependent on anyone for its survival. Similarly, over here also it is given that cat can look after itself. And lastly, we have seen that many a times it is given the reference that the goats are the one that the old man is worried about, and he himself is symbolically the goat over here, because goat is the animal which is mostly sacrificed for no reason. They are the ones who sacrifice, and they are dependent or at the mercy of the others, the one who attacks. So in the similar way here also the goats are the one he is worried about, because he says they might get killed in the war, they might get sacrificed in that particular war. Here we see when he tells about all these 3 different categories of 3 different types of animals that he used to look after, the soldier asks him that, says, and you had to leave them, I asked. Yes, because of the artillery. The captain told me to go because of the artillery. So old man is not worried about any other thing, the battle, the war, the artillery, the things. It is just he's worried about the animals, and he says, yes, I was supposed to be staying there only with the animals, taking care of them. But it was the artillery. When that came, the captain told me that because of the artillery, I have to leave. And then I was forced to leave my animals. And you have no family? I asked. I means the narrator, the soldier. So he asks, what about your family? You don't have a family, I guess. Watching the far end of the bridge where a few last carts were hurrying down the slope of the bank. That means he was looking at the horizon also, and he was talking at the man also, with the man also. He asks him about his family, then looks at the extreme end that there are very few carts which are left. They are coming down towards the bank of the river so that they can also cross the bridge. No, he said, only the animals, I stated. The cat, of course, will be all right. A cat can look out for itself, but I cannot think what will become of the others. So here the old man is thinking about his animals, and through his own judgment also he can say that I am not worried about the cat, which is symbolic to independence. So here he says the cat will look after itself. I am more worried about the other two species of the animal, that is the goats and the pigeons. What politics have you? I asked. That what is your plan? What are you planning? So the old man says, I am without politics. Politics over here is basically the plan of action. So he said, I am 76 years old. I have come 12 kilometers now, and I think now I can go no further. So he says, I am a man without any plan of action, without any planning. I don't have anything pre-decided what I am going to do, what my plan would be. I am just 76 years of age and walked 12 kilometers, that is on foot. And so he says, I have walked so much without any planning, without any plan of action. And now I think that I have no power to go any further. I am so tired that I hardly can move any further. Moreover, it also shows his helplessness and his despair, that he doesn't want to go any further. He has you can say surrendered to his death. He knows it is going to be his doom, because even if he crosses the bridge and goes to the other area, that other new life is not going to be a life full of hope for him. Rather, it is going to be a life not equally but even worse, whatever he might have to face over here in this Ebro region, where he is supposed to be facing a war also, or where he might face a war also. He's saying he believes that it is the new life is going to be no better than that. Over here he might die during the war, over there he might die because of the hunger and helplessness for various conditions. So for him, he thinks that he can go no further, he has no plan of action, and he does not know what to do. This is not a good place to stop, I said. If you can make it, there are trucks up the road where it forks for Tortosa. So the soldier tried to motivate him, tried explaining him the condition, and said this is not the best place that you should be stopping. You should cross the bridge, and if you can make it, go cross the bridge and go further where the road divides one to the other side for Tortosa. There you will get truck. And on those trucks, if you get on those trucks, you might be taken to a place of safety. I will wait a while, he said, and then I will go. Where do the trucks go? Towards Barcelona, I told him. So here the man said, okay, I will go there only. I have to wait a little more because I'm too tired to walk any further right now. And after that, I'll walk. Then thinking over his entire journey and everything, whatever the plan is, going to the other side and taking the trucks, he simply inquired the soldier that he must be knowing, where does these trucks take all the people? So the soldier tells him that they are all taken to Barcelona. This is a place in Spain. I know no one in that direction, he said, but thank you very much. Thank you again very much. He says that I don't know anyone else. That is a grievance he has, that he doesn't know anyone. He does not know what to do there in an unknown place without any known person over there. How is he going to make two ends meet? But this is a problem which is all of his own sole problem. No one else is going to get into that problem solving. And over here also he understands that the soldier has to do his work. He is not going to have any solutions for him. And he says, anyways, thank you very much, thank you very much. That shows that he knows nobody can help him. He is supposed to look after his own self now, and that is what he is incapable at right now, because he doesn't know how he is going to manage things over there. He looked at me very blankly and tiredly. You can understand that the look on the face of this old man is blank and tired because of the journey and because of the despair and helplessness that he has in regards to his animals, and blank because he doesn't know what to do, how he is supposed to move from here, then going to Barcelona, and there in the Barcelona managing somewhere or the other to survive only. Because he knows there cannot be any better life for him. He just have to try getting something for his survival. Then said, having to share his worry with someone, the cat will be all right, I'm sure. There is no need to be unquiet about the cat. But the others? Now what do you think about the others? So the old man blankly, tiredly is not knowing what's going to happen to himself, what is going to happen to his life, what is going to be his future. But still, abruptly he starts talking to the soldier as if sharing his problem with someone, like a soulmate, like a person who is there to listen to you. And there, while sharing with his problem with the soldier, he says that the cat can look after itself. I don't have to be unquiet about it, because that is understood that the cat can look after itself. But what will happen what will happen to the others? I don't know now. What do you think? What will happen to the others? Why, they'll probably come through it all right. You think so? Why not? I said, watching the far bank where now there were no carts. So the soldier says, oh, don't worry, they will all be able to look after themselves. They'll all be fine. So the old man, with this little ray of hope, he simply confirms it. Do you really think so that they will be all perfectly all right? They will be able to manage it? And he says, yes, I think so, they will. And why not? Why not? They'll be all right. They will be all be able to manage themselves. And he's still eyeing on the other side, seeing that now there are hardly any carts which are supposed to come and cross the bridge. But what will they do under the artillery when I was told to leave because of the artillery? So he says, if the artillery is used over there and I was supposed to be leaving the place, I was forced to leave that place because of the artillery, how do you think the animals will do or manage in the artillery? So the soldier says, did you leave the dove cage unlocked? I asked. Yes. Then they'll fly. So now he says, you left the cage open? So he said, yes, the pigeons cages was open. So he confirms he affirms them that they will obviously fly away then. The cat is able to manage itself, the doves will, or the pigeons will fly away. So the two different types of animals are going to be safe. Yes, certainly they'll fly. But the others, it's better not to think about the others, he said. Now he's still thinking about the goats, because other two animals are safe now, according to him, according to the justification. He says, yes, they will certainly fly away, but what about others? Well, I should not think about the others, because he knows that others might die or others might succumb there to the injuries and the repercussions of the war. If you are rested, I would go, I urged. Get up and try to walk now. He simply forced him now, the soldier forced the old man, that if you have taken enough rest, I would like to go, and I would like to request you also that you also get up and try walking the other side of the bridge. Try going towards the other side of the bridge. Thank you, he said, and got to his feet, swayed from side to side, and then sat down backwards in the dust. He said thank you, and then swaying, that means moving side to side in a very difficult manner. He is moving because he is not able to walk properly because of his tired feet, knees, maybe old age, and because of the walk that he had, 12 kilometers of walk earlier. So because of that, he is swaying and walking side to side, and then later onwards, going little further, he again sits down in the dust, and there He says, I was taking care of animals, he said dully. But no longer to me. I was only taking care of animals. He is still trying to go to the other part of the region, to the other side of the bridge, but even while walking over there, he sits down and very blankly he talks to himself, not even to the soldier, that I was just taking care of animals. That somewhere or the other shows that even right now the thought of his animals is hovering around him. He is just thinking about them. He has no hope for his own future. He is not thinking about his own future. He is just worried about his animals, that whether they will be safe or not, how are they going to manage. I was supposed to take care of them. I was forced to leave. Now what should I do? Because his only task in life was to take care of his animals. His only family in the entire world was the animals that he used to take care of. So that is why he is more worried about the animals who were his family. He is more bothered about them because he has no other task to do. He has always been looking after those animals only, and that is why that thought is still on his mind and is hovering around, is lingering with him, and he is just talking to himself, also thinking only about his animals. There was nothing to do about him. It was Easter Sunday and the fascists were advancing towards the Ebro. It was grey overcast day with a long ceiling, so their planes were not up. So the only thing that was in favor of the old man was that it was the Easter Sunday and the fascists were trying to come towards the Ebro region, but their planes could not fly because the entire region was covered with grey forecast, and that was the reason why planes were not there. And that is how his animals got one more day so that they can go to somewhere in safety, or they could run away from the place where there is all the danger of artillery and the battle. So that was the only luck that the old man had, that his animals got one day extra to fight for their life or to run to save themselves. That and the fact that cats know how to look after themselves was all the good luck that old man could ever have. So even because of the forecast, the goats might be able to survive one more day, the pigeons might fly away, and even the cat will be able to look after itself. So these were the only things that were the good luck on the side of the old man. Otherwise, he had no luck for himself on the other side of the bridge, which was his new life, or the other phase of his life, starting at the age of 76. So that means unknowingly, without any rhyme or reason, because of the war, he is doomed and he has no future, no hope for his good future. He is just trying to manage somehow so that he can go from there. Rather, he has all the knowledge that he will not be able to have a better life even if he goes to the other place of safety, which is Barcelona. And that is how the writer has tried to show how the wars affect most of the people who are not at all related, connected, those who have to do nothing with the war, but then because of the areas, because of the situations, they become the real victims of the war. Even without getting any physical injuries, they become the victims, and some way or the other, these injuries which are not seen visibly, which are not visible physically, they are the ones which lead to their decay, destruction, and their doom. And that is what has happened with this old man also. And that is one of the common things which happen with most of the people, those who get stuck in the situation of the war. So the story is very nicely brought up by the writer, and this is what you have to do in your reading today. You can go through this story, read it, go through this explanation. You can even look into your workbooks also. As many different perspectives you get, as many different explanations you get, more the better it will be for you. So go through all this, and then after this, once we have done both the stories, both the poems, we will be starting with the question answers. I will be giving you the question answers that you are supposed to be doing. Lastly, we will be trying to do the workbook question answers also, or accordingly we will decide. So for today, you can just go through this particular story and try covering it, all the stories and poems also, understanding them. Have a great day.